If somebody waits to get with a tax person until after the year ends, which is common because taxes aren't due till March or April, you can't do anything retroactively. So it's important to get with an accountant before the end of the year, during the year, so that somebody other than the business owner can watch the numbers, making sure that there's no surprises at the end of the year.
Why is it important to plan for tax season throughout the year?
So you're not surprised, and you don't want to hear from your tax person a couple of days before the taxes are due that you owe an unexpected amount. I personally think that you don't want to have a refund that is too huge either, because it means the government has had your money. But if they have a refund that's too high, it's going to be because they were making estimated tax payments based on the year before, and then the current year changed. So then they may actually pay in too much money they could have kept and then have a refund that's too high. But that's not as devastating as finding out a few days before deadline that you owe, a 5-digit number in tax or a 6-digit number in tax, depending on what your income is.
How often should a business review and update its financial records?
I think small businesses should be doing their books monthly. And what I mean by doing their books, I think there should be a monthly profit and loss statement, a monthly balance sheet. And I think those should be used for tax planning and tax projecting and tax minimizing.
What are common mistakes businesses make when preparing for tax season, and how can they be avoided?
The biggest mistake is they don't do it. Business owners procrastinate and wait until the last minute, or they wait until the year is over, and then you can't go back and change anything, or they wait till the last minute right before the deadline, or they even go past the deadline, file an extension, wait till the last minute for the extension deadline. But I think it boils down to procrastination.
Could you explain the role of bookkeeping in year-round tax preparation?
Bookkeeping is the method to produce the financial statements, profit and loss statement, balance sheet. Bookkeeping means that somebody is accounting for all of the income and expenses that go through a business, whether it's through bank statements, credit cards, or point of sale systems, or payroll, or whatever. Tracking all that in a bookkeeping system like a QuickBooks or something. Somebody's keeping track. Somebody's making sure that there's accurate profit and loss and balance sheet every month. That's bookkeeping.
What specific tax deadlines should businesses be aware of throughout the year?
There's quite a few of them. There's separate deadlines for payroll taxes and sales tax. But as far as income tax goes, I would focus on 6. There's what everyone thinks of as tax day, which is April 15th for individuals, March 15th for most businesses, but not all of them. And so that's one deadline. And then the extensions are 6 months after that. So September and October, that's the second deadline. And the other 4 are the estimated tax deadlines. So sometimes businesses and business owners have to pay estimated tax every 3 months. Those deadlines are quarterly throughout the year and are important.
How can businesses take advantage of tax deductions and credits?
They should make sure they know about them, which ones apply to them, and if they don't, they need to hire someone that does, like an accounting firm or an accountant. Business owners oftentimes don't even realize what their businesses should and shouldn't be paying for. We want to see business owners keep business expenses flowing through business bank accounts and credit cards, and personal expenses flowing through personal bank accounts and credit cards. Sometimes business owners don't know how to do that. They don't know what should the business be paying for, what shouldn't it be paying for. If we help them get that established, that goes a long way into what's tax deductible and what's not. And then as far as tax credits, that's different than a tax deduction, but again, just making sure that people know what tax credits are out there and which ones apply to them. And if they don't, getting help from somebody that does.
How can consulting with an accountant throughout the year benefit a business come tax season?
If somebody waits to get with a tax person until after the year ends, which is common because taxes aren't due till March or April, but if you wait until January, February to get with somebody, you can't do anything retroactively. So it's important to get with an accountant before the end of the year, during the year, so that somebody other than the business owner can watch the numbers, can give tax advice during the year, possible advice on how to minimize tax. Here, maybe you do this with your money instead, those kinds of things. But at the very least, making sure that there's no surprises at the end of the year as far as what might be owed.
What are some tax saving strategies businesses can implement during the year?
That's a topic that a lot of people think that there's a lot of magic out there, like, wave the wand, there's all these tax strategies that we're missing out on. But for small businesses, the two big ones that I see are just making sure you know what your business should be paying for, and make sure that the business, you're taking advantage of that and have the business pay for everything that it should be, and get with somebody to help you with that if you don't know. And then the second big one is put money away for retirement. And because two reasons. One, so that you have money and you can retire someday. But the other one is there's ways to do it where you save tax now. If you're in a higher tax bracket, making more money now than you will be later, it's a good thing to consider is let's save some tax now.
How can businesses handle unexpected tax-related issues that arise during the year?
Tell your accountant, tell your tax preparer. If you get a notice from the government that says that you owe unexpected taxes, don't pay it without having someone else make sure that it's correct and can explain to you why. I guess another unexpected tax issue would be if the business had just a huge banner year compared to the year before. The owner is going to owe more tax. So it's good to prepare for that and either make higher estimated payments or figure out how to maximize things like a retirement plan, or if there's things the business needs to buy before the end of the year instead of waiting until the next year.
What advice do you have for businesses that are new and going through their first tax season?
Probably going to have a loss. And probably going to have a lot of startup expenses, probably going to have more expenses than income if it's a truly a startup business. And that's okay. Get with an accountant or a tax person that knows the rules on the deductibility of the loss, whether it can be deducted against other income or carried forward against future income. If you have a startup, if you don't have a loss, that's great. Still need to get with somebody for planning purposes and also projecting to see, okay, if I've got this startup and I'm losing money now, what's my break-even point? When am I going to get past that? So I start making money and then I've got a tax problem, and then I can get some tax advice on it.
How can businesses plan for estimated tax payments to avoid penalties? Estimated
tax payments are things that people have to pay every 3 months if they aren't paying enough tax in through payroll withholding. And if you owe too much on April 15th, you'll get penalized for not having prepaid enough. There has to be a certain amount prepaid throughout the year, either from payroll withholding tax or quarterly estimated tax payments. And if a person hasn't prepaid enough, then there'll be a penalty for that.
What are the benefits of conducting a mid-year tax review?
Oh, lots of benefits. Same ones that I've been talking about with the monthly financials and monthly accounting, but it's just you just want somebody else's eyes on it besides your own to look at your situation mid-year, or even if it's late in the year, as long as it's before the end of the year, to take a look and to see what you're looking like for the year, see if there's anything to do before the end of the year to minimize it.